What's up, guys and gals? Sanitary 103, thanks for watching yet another video. So in today's installment, I'm going to be answering the question of, is food truly an addiction? Can you be truly addicted to food? The simple answer to that question is absolutely. For some people, they can be addicted to food. There is plenty of research out there that solidifies this argument that food can truly be an addiction. Now, what these researchers found out was that people that are truly addicted to food, there's a portion of the brain that controls the pleasure center and which releases a chemical called dopamine. And that's the feeling of reward, of pleasure, of feeling good. That portion of the brain for people that are addicted to food, it's spiked quite higher than a normal person who is not fixated on, and thinking about food 24/7, 7 days a week. That portion of the brain of the pleasure center is spiked so high that researchers compare it to, or even say that it might exceed a person who is highly addictive to drugs such as heroin or even cocaine. And one of the reasons why some people are more prone to being addicted to food and have a food addiction is that because of these three components found in most unhealthy foods, and that is sugar, salt, and fat. These three components, when taken in excess, can be addictive, and that's one of the reasons why fast food is very, very addictive. Now, I don't really eat fast food that often. When I was younger, I did because it was cheap. I was in college, I didn't have much money, and it tastes good. Once you wean off it, it tastes a little bit different, but that's for another story. But that's one of the reasons why, it's so addictive, is that it has those three components and it triggers that pleasure center and you want even more and more and more. And real quick, I have my laptop here. The definition of addiction right here, according to Wikipedia, is the continued repetition of a behavior despite adverse consequences. That rings 100% true. People, they eat, they get overweight, they get knee problems, joint problems, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even though a lot of these people know that it's bad for them, they get too addicted to the food and they can't stop. And this is just another clear-cut sign that this person, male or female, does definitely have a food addiction. Another clear-cut example that food can be an addiction, and a debilitating one for some people, is that when you consume that food that's high in salt, sugar, and fat, it feels really, really good. It activates the pleasure center in the brain. But after a while, your body and your brain adapts. And when it adapts, you eat, let's say, a burger and fries. It feels good, but what happens is that pleasure center gets kind of numb after a while, and you basically need more to try to achieve that sense of feeling good. And that's kind of similar to a drug addict. A person that does a drug for the first time, let's say crack, and then they want to get that high like they experienced the first time. It's called, I think, quote, chasing the dragon. They're always chasing that next high, but they need more and more and more. And that's very similar to a person with food. They just keep eating to make themselves feel better. Now, the next important question is, if you are truly addicted to food and you're watching this video, or you know someone who is addicted to food, can it be stopped? Can it be minimized? Well, that's a pretty complex question because everybody's a little bit different. But based on what I've observed and based on my years of health and fitness and what I've seen, one component and one reason why some people overeat is that they're trying to fill a void. Whatever that void is, they have that emptiness, or they've experienced some, trauma when they were younger. They've were molested. They, had an abusive father or mother. Their parents separated when they were young. They couldn't get over, getting dumped by their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. Whatever the case may be, they're trying to fill that void with food. So yeah, it's easy for somebody on the outside to just say, just stop eating and exercise. Well, the person does know that, and I'm not saying the person doesn't have to have personal responsibility, because there comes a point in which you got to take control of your life. But at the same time, it's not that simple, and it's a very complex issue. So my suggestion is that if you are addicted to food, definitely try to dig deep. I know it's not going to be fun, whatever, personal issues you have, but definitely try to focus on that and, maybe talk to somebody, go to a therapist, a psychologist, a friend, and find out the root of the problem. Find out what is causing you to eat that much. Now, obviously, you might be more prone to the food addiction because some people are just genetically probably more prone to that, but the body is very adaptable. And by having some peer support from friends and by, exercising a little bit more, cutting down on the food, and getting to the root of the problem. Hopefully you can, lessen the chances of, the food addiction. Thanks once again for watching this video. Hopefully that was useful information. Any comments or questions are always welcome. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Start off with the side dish. Got a good old baked potato right here. A good russet potato, good complex carbs. Got some salt and pepper on that. And then right here, I just have a Angus beef burger, which I've shown in the past.